And this is the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show on a night where a 2-goal deficit in the first 5 minutes proved to be much more of an injection than dejection. Rangers rally and then some, and they win it 7-4 in Dallas, snap a 2-game losing streak, and they come home with a 2-2 road trip. Hi, everyone. Welcome inside our Delta MSG studios. John Giannone alongside Steve Valiquette. Resilience has been a Ranger buzzword throughout the season, and we saw it shift to shift, period to period, and certainly game to game, given what happened in the previous two, Steve. And still, the Rangers have not lost 3 straight in regulation all season.
So many things in this game to get excited about. Panarin, back to being Panarin. Like, you want him to be impactful, to lead. The Rangers need him to be that. He was the slump buster tonight. They lose this game. They're down 2-0. 19th comeback of the year. So Panarin, the comeback, I would say 5-on-5 scoring. You get 5 goals at 5-on-5. How about the fact that this team always finds a way? Like, it's almost like, you know, you see the record and you don't get surprised anymore because you feel like they know how to have the resolve at 2-0 early. Yeah. Did we doubt it? You know, like it's a really neat thing. And to me, once again, it shows the resiliency of a group and what they've built and how they understand one another, and they know they can come out of it. They're going to get into this position in the playoffs. And when you really need it the most, it's in the playoffs. And the only way you've built up that credibility is if you do it during the regular season. And a number of times they've been tested this year, and they've come. That's a pass with flying colors for me, that game. 13
different Rangers had a point in this one, led by Panarin's 5, and that ties his career high. He had 5 as a Ranger back in January of 2020 against the Islanders. He also did it once with the Columbus Blue Jackets. But again, Rangers trailed 2-0 in less than 5 minutes in this one, and the guy who got it going, the guy who got credit for the goal, was the guy who would be considered the 11th forward on a night where Gerard Gallant decided to go 11 forward, 7D, and that's Greg McKegg, who was in the right place at the right time.
The Rangers, what I thought they did is they really controlled the game from the outset. So right off the opening draw, the Rangers got on the forecheck, and that's how this play was won. Gauthier is in first. He wins a puck battle. The Rangers outnumber Dallas below their goal line, win a puck back. Miller shoots it off the leg of McKegg. And, you know, there's reason to celebrate here because you're down 2-0 at that point. And to me, in the first 7 minutes, they weren't rewarded for the early forecheck. They had 3 or 4 scoring chances before they got that goal. Not to mention the first goal of the game by Esa Lindell. It goes over the shoulder of Shesterkin from the dead angle. Everybody talks about what Shesterkin's meant to this team this year. It says a lot to me, and it shows me a lot about the group, again, picking up their goaltender, because he was in a bit of a tailspin when you start to think about the last few games, and now it was the team's turn to pick him up, as he's done throughout the season. I like to see that, and it shows that the group, the players on the ice, care a lot about their goaltender, and then he came back and had an outstanding game to be able to keep parts of the game close as well.
Yeah, it had been 6 goals against in about 25 minutes for Igor Shesterkin, dating to Thursday in St. Louis. But the Rangers were on the board at that point. Resilience was their resource. And then they got a power play opportunity. And let's not forget, the Rangers' power play has been the best in the NHL since January 27th, a span of 16 games. And when it came time to fire off a one-timer, that guy did it again, Mika Zibanejad.
So that was his 10th one-timer goal of the season. And the thing about Mika is that he's got range, and not everybody in the NHL can back up above the top of the circles and pound it. But I'd imagine that the Dallas Stars, you know, they thought that he was going to be on the other side of the ice, and there's a bit of a switch here off the draw, and you see Panarin at the right point rather than Fox, and there's a little bit of confusion. Now, Zibanejad sliding above the top of the circles on a one-timer from here. NHL goalies typically, they don't get beat, but he just has extra on it. When we put a clock on it, he's getting up to 100 miles per hour off of his shot. I think it shows up quicker on Ottinger. He does have a weak blocker side.
You said it in the pregame.
Right, and you know, he's a young goalie. He'll figure it out, but the boys, you know, they definitely exploited that low blocker side in this game.
23rd goal for Mika Zibanejad, 12th on the power play, and that made it 2-2. So just like that, the 2-goal deficit was no more. A minute 15 later, the Rangers went hunting for more. And it was Adam Fox, who hasn't gotten on the score sheet as a goal scorer very often this season, scoring a goal in a position where you usually don't see him. With Jacob Trouba on the ice, where you usually don't see Adam Fox. How did this happen?
So there's 29 feet from the top of the circles to the blue line. And what I see in unsettled offense or in settled offense in zone is that the players that are able to have misdirection up top and then run your defenseman in and then not be able to account for everybody is really the feeling that it gives the opposition. And it's positionless ozone. And when the players jump in like this and Fox gets that first opportunity off the glove side shoulder of Ottinger, Panarin keeps a great puck in here alive. That's a part of it. When you get it to the net, you've got to be quick on your recoveries. But at this point right now, Dallas is reeling. They're trying to shuffle and figure out who's got who. And then Panarin dives down again with another play that then allows Fox to come downhill. And you see this D-to-D here, which is really Panarin-Trouba up top. And to me, I think that it's almost like saying you've got positionless offensive zone play. Everybody's able to fill each other's roles. And I really think this is where the game's going, John. It's really turning from what was once cycled in the corner and then looking for the open man to the slot to really becoming a high zone cycle, losing each other. And look, I've always said this too. If you're a defenseman and you add value by jumping in off the blue line, if you're going to activate, be a really good option, but don't get caught up there or don't have a forward up top that's not responsible. And you can see the forwards were up top responsible, so you can get that, but moreover, Fox, he doesn't let me down when he adds offense coming in off the blue line. He's there and he's going to contribute. He's not just a body.
Yeah, so Fox from Trouba, who had that on their card? Fox's 8th of the year, and it was 3-2 Rangers at that point. And then, 36 seconds after that, Artemi Panarin said, I remember the scouting report on Jake Ottinger, and I remember what Steve said on the pregame show. I'm going to go low blocker as well.
Well, he really did pick it apart. And look, this is, again, same idea, though. It starts above the top of the circles to the blue line. There's offense up there, and everybody's moving everybody around. And I think this is why they have a nice night at even strength. And Hunt, who's got 3 assists in the game, he takes this play with puck possession behind the net. And once again, everyone's trying to check their checks right now. When you're Dallas, you're finding it hard to cover the Rangers. Up top, you're getting another rotation, so you get that switch and misdirection once again. Panarin's coming downhill, and he wants to get inside. So the defenseman's stick is blocking that, but he's still inside enough when he goes outside because he's still inside that dot area. The goaltender, Ottinger, loses his angle. There's low blocker. You can even see the blocker. It's in front of his pad there. So there's a lot of room, and you give a guy like Panarin the opportunity to shoot there. I'm just happy he is because I felt like in the last few games he had open shots from there and he was passing. But that has to be a shot because when he establishes that, now he's going to make his pass more effective. And it's not going to be as easy in the next game to pick off his pass because his shot is a threat again.
So those 4 goals scored in a span of 5:05. The final 3 scored in a span of 1:51. Rangers had a 2-goal lead at that point, 4-2. The Stars made it a 1-goal game twice, but the Rangers scored the next goal after that both times, and ultimately they would have the win. And this would be the game winner. Late in the second period, Patrick Nemeth, the wraparound that they had to review, they said the puck went over the goal line. You can see it right there. Patrick Nemeth's second career game winner, the 10th goal of his NHL career. Rangers with the 7-4 win.